I'm drinking, I'm mixing everything that I see in front of me. You get me higher, so higher. C'est la vie. I'm lifted, I can't let go of this moment. Always in motion, like the floor of the ocean. Oh, wherever we go, it's up. Wherever the wind blows, it's us. I'm feeling like a million, I can't let you fuck it up. When we step in the building, we ain't with it, so you better check your ego. Just leave it at the door, cause I can see you through the peephole. I don't need that energy, I'm cool on all these people. It's up wherever we go, it's love wherever we go, and everybody knows it. Better check your ego, just leave it at the door, cause I can see you through the peephole. I don't need that energy, I'm cool on all these people. It's up wherever we go, it's love wherever we go, and everybody knows it. Let's head back to the Sofitel, views of the ocean with a ship sail. Wave au revoir to your old self, free my mind from the...
What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Excited to have you with us right here on the Betting News Network. This is the All Sauce Team, Saucy Sundays. Happy Mother's Day. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us. We got B-Sauce in the house. We got Jessica. My name's Sweatpants. She's stoked to have you guys here. And as I said, happy Mom's Day to all you mothers out there, all of you guys out there that have mothers. Make sure you call your mom at some point today. It's Mom's Day, baby. Boys, how we living? Ready to rock and roll?
Nope, B-Sauce is so muted.
Notes are muted.
Sorry, boys. The wife was just asking me a question right at this very second. She got the reminder from SPJ about Mother's Day, and she was like, "Oh my God, we need to make some phone calls." And yes.
Oh my goodness.
I did this morning. I've been up, but my mom's taking a little snooze today, catching up on some sleep here on Mother's Day.
Let's go.
Let's go. Shout out. Let's go, Allie. What's up? Thanks for tuning in on YouTube as always. And big shout out to Trizzy yesterday. Trizzy absolutely smacked around the UFC card last night in Montreal. It was a banger event. Thanks for tuning in as well on YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube right now, if you're watching us on Twitch or on X or Twitter, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you guys wherever you're watching us and hanging out with us on this beautiful Sunday. And yeah, shout out to Trizzy. We smacked the parlay yesterday too. Chat, give yourself a pat on the back. Betspresso 4. Cha-ching. And then, honestly, the Violent Four came down to the main event.
Fucking seconds.
Seconds, man.
Bilal's lip was cut in half. His eye was fucked.
It was always JDM, dude. We should have just taken JDM because Trizzy had a great read on him. He was a dog last night. Obviously, this is an NBA show, but what a crazy Saturday it was yesterday in sports world. 2 great games on the ice, 2 great games in the NBA, and then a great event last night in the UFC. It's the best time for sports, man. I know everybody loves the fall, getting into football and like the playoffs and stuff like that. But honestly, I feel like this time right now is my favorite time of year for sports because it's sunny outside. The weather's nice.
Yeah.
It's not quite summer yet. You're feeling good. All these playoff games in the NHL and the NBA, like this little stretch of 2.5 to 3 weeks where there's like games every day, multiple games a day, like because in 2 weeks, not to get you guys really sad, like we're only gonna have a game a day before the finals. So
not even that. We're gonna go 2 days without games. It's gonna be tough.
I know, man. I know, but let's enjoy this part of it. Basket all in. Thanks for being here with us. We're going to talk through. We'll go through a little bit of what happened yesterday. Big couple games on the hardwood to discuss, and then we'll talk about the 2 Game 4s in front of us today on this beautiful Mother's Day. Nuggets Thunder to kick us off, and then this evening the Cavaliers taking on the Pacers. 2 really exciting matchups. Both of these series have been full of drama, as all of them have been really. So we're going to talk about all of it with you guys. And thanks for being here. Let's just jump in. Let's talk real quick about yesterday. And then we'll have a gander. We're going to cook 2 SGPs for the 2 games today, as we have been doing. Kind of jump in and kind of talk about all the angles in each game. Put together this. You like my balloons? The Saucy 4 as well at the end of the show, and then we'll send you off and let you enjoy the rest of your Mother's Day and enjoy the rest of the games this afternoon. Guys, yesterday, as you guys can see, chat, we're all wearing green or versions of green. It was not by design. These guys probably by design. I just put on a shirt that I like. But your boys got the job done yesterday. The Celtics were able to go into the Garden yesterday and take care of the Knicks to jump back into that series. 2-1 is that one. And then Game 4's got a lot more flavor on it now that the series is 2-1 and the Celtics got the job done in the Garden. I know you guys can unclench a little bit now. Chat, I'm sure you guys watched some of that game yesterday, if not the entire game. I'll say my piece real quick, and I'll let you guys kind of jump in about it. we talked about this going into game 2 that we were expecting the Celtics to revert back to the mean of shooting the basketball a lot better from deep. But that didn't happen in game 2. So then everybody was like, oh no, maybe they just are broken or something. But like eventually these teams that shoot this much, and there's a lot of them in the NBA now, but especially the Celtics, like they were going to revert back to making 40 to 45% of their 3-pointers, if not higher. And we saw the if not higher yesterday. They came out red hot from deep. And the Knicks had no response. The problem is this has happened previously, but then they couldn't close the game because then they went cold at particular stretches. And yesterday we saw that they were able to do that, and they got a pretty dominant victory. So be very interested to see what happens in game 4 and to see kind of what happens now. Because in my opinion, if the Celtics win game 4, then all the pressure swings back over to the Knicks because, you've given away a 2-0 lead. They blew a 2-0 lead last year against the Pacers. Now they've got to deal with the same narrative. If they go back 2-2, going back to then Boston, then you're down 3-2, and you got to protect home court, and there's all that angle. So big win for the C's yesterday. I know you guys are very happy about it. What did you guys think watching that game, and as fans and as, what we doing here?
There's one win, down 2-1. Not much. It's nice to see that the shots were falling. I felt better after the first half where we weren't going into halftime shooting 25% from 3. But again, without saying too much, I've said a lot all year. Gerald's got a bunch of receipts. Don't need to give.
I'm like I'm in a weird spot where I kept my mouth shut for 82, opened my mouth in round 2, and we went into the biggest hole we've been in 2 years. So I'm going to continue to keep my mouth shut. I'm going to revert back to the tendencies that I trusted during the regular season. I'm excited to see where we go from here. Obviously, I do think that the shooting may not hold up once again. Knicks will have a counter. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. But right now, it looks like Celtics basketball is back on the menu.
Without getting into all the hoopla, just to talk stats, the Celtics are averaging just under 24 wide open 3-point shots per game, right? If open where it's like just 4 to 6 feet, it's right in that same category. They're taking about 35 to 40 wide to wide open 3-point attempts per game. Their defense has been consistent through every single game. If you watch it, they haven't allowed more than 105 points or was it 108 points in this series, right? Mm-hmm. And that was an overtime game 1. I just think that the Celtics have been doing kind of the stuff that they want. It hasn't been going down the way that they want in terms of shots falling, but that's part of the game, right? Guys are going to get hot. Guys are going to get cold. Just, get through it. Get us game 4. And please, God, can I finally have the JT 35 piece? Come on. I'm waiting for it.
He started really good yesterday. And, we know about this. We know this about JT, that he will do kind of whatever is necessary within the game flow to win the game, which sometimes means he doesn't take as many shots. He's not as aggressive offensively. So he kind of just turns into sometimes a bit more of a facilitator or a rebounder or just a willing screener or whatever it may be to win the game. That didn't work out first couple games of the series. And then unfortunately, when you need him to turn it on as a scorer, he wasn't quite able to do so in those stretches. But I thought yesterday, I think they got everybody on the right page. Peyton Pritchard was making his threes. Derek White was making his threes. Jaylen Brown looked aggressive. Obviously, Tatum looked good too. So
can I just say Tatum, sorry, SPJ, to interrupt you, but Tatum's the only guy that flirts with a triple-double, and the next day I don't hear people talking about him flirting with a triple-double. It's the only guy in the association where everybody just goes, oh, he didn't score 30.
Let's have this conversation.
Straight to close the Magic out in 3 games, and it's all crickets on the timeline, right? 2 bad games that go down into a 2-0 hole, and everybody has an opinion on this guy, right? It's just, it comes with the territory. Like he said, it comes with being that guy.
Not to say that OG couldn't lock him up for the rest of the series. I'm not saying
sure.
That. I'm just saying that, at the same time, he's still a very impactful player. We see him handle double teams at a top 10 level in the NBA, in my opinion. I could be wrong about that if you jump into the numbers, but he handles shit.
Well, let's have this conversation then, because we're going to talk about the Nuggets and Thunder here in just a minute on game 4. And, the Nuggets have a 2-1 lead right now. And I saw a funny thing of somebody on the timeline posting, it was a Thunder fan being like, we should be up 3-0 in this series. And somebody basically was saying, first time dealing with Nikola Jokic in the playoffs, eh? And I mean, it's true on, these great players rise to the occasion, and you have guys, John, You have guys that just rise to the occasion in these situations. And I mean, we're not talking the same way about Jason Tatum like we should be talking about SGA, because SGA in this series has been, if you look at just the stats and the numbers, like he's been good. But if you watch that last game, especially, they got a 30-plus point performance from Jalen Williams and had a great scoring night. And SGA was, I mean, he was pretty bad. He was pretty pedestrian in that game. Threw the ball away quite a lot in some big crunch time moments, just wasn't making the right play. And he's kind of been doing that this whole series. Like, yeah, he's going to get to the line. Yeah, he's going to get his little middies and stuff like that. But I feel like that the Nuggets are playing him really well, and he's not really responding. And that's not what – and they've relied heavily on his scoring this entire season. And when those other guys, those other role players that we've talked about, those young guys that have been performing at such a high rate, don't quite get the job done in those situations, you need your superstar player to kind of come in and go, yeah, all right, let's get a bucket here. And we haven't seen that from SGA in the playoffs. In this series, we saw it in the first. I mean, if you want to count the first series, really, but
even Caruso said it. Caruso said in his postgame, he said, "We're being tested now, right? That Memphis series, like, he's like, no disrespect to them, but we expected to win that series, especially after Ja got hurt, right? Like, it's not lost on them. This is their actual test, and this is exactly what came up in the regular season. The 8-8 record against teams that were sitting above, sitting in the top 3 or 4 of each conference. They struggled in those matchups, and now we're seeing it again. I think Shea, the thing that's interesting to me the most is, yes, his numbers are going to look fantastic. He's got multiple 30-point games this series. Yes, the numbers weren't there last game because the shooting percentages were kind of low, but I want to see him do more to make his teammates better so that in times like this, you can depend on them just a little bit or have a little bit more coming from them. Because in overtime in the fourth quarter, he looked gassed. He didn't take a single shot attempt in that overtime period at all. Just one shot attempt between him and Jalen Williams. And Jalen Williams had a 30-piece going into overtime. Right. So this was super strange to me to see from these two players. And I think that's the strategy that they have now instituted in guarding Shea. They're not sending doubles. They're guarding him one-on-one, and they're just living with what he does. If his shots fall and he give up 35 to him, it's like, okay, we're going to make sure everybody else is struggling and nobody else can get it over us. Whereas, like, you see on the other side in terms of the Knicks, it's everybody but Jalen Brunson. They want to do everything to contain Jalen Brunson because they know how conducive and how much he can flip a game. But whereas with Shea, it kind of feels like he'll put up the big numbers, but it's not really conducive. It hasn't been conducive to winning in these last, like, 2 games outside of the blowout in game 2. Sook?
Disagree.
Yeah?
Yeah. Hard disagree. I think the Nuggets are in for it today.
Really?
I really think they're in for it. I dove into this game. Do we want to dive into this game, or are we still doing?
No. Let's. I just because my question was about, do you agree that he's not getting enough slander in comparison to what Jason Tatum's getting on the timeline? Do you think that he deserves a little bit more of shouldering that load right now, because they're down 2-1 right now?
I will say none of these guys deserve what they get on the timeline. None of them do. Even Tatum, I don't think we should be like, oh, let's criticize SGA more. I think everybody just needs to fucking chill the fuck out and watch these fucking games and have some fucking fun. Yesterday, Peyton Pritchard ripped the ball from like a 7-foot guy under the basket, and he scored 20 points. Let's talk about that. Let's have some fun with this. I loved, not to take it back to UFC, but Mike Mallet yesterday, they started booing after he won his fight. And he looked up and he's like, guys, we're done with this. I just won that fight. It's about positivity now. And I think with this, it's like, SPJ, I know you're such a positive guy, so you definitely don't mean we should criticize SGA more. But I just fully mean, let's fucking have some fun, man. Like, we don't need to criticize anybody more. We just need to find the guys we need to throw flowers at.
Which is there a lot right now.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of fantastic performances. All of these series have been full of narratives and full of different incredible games. One more thing from some news to kind of flip it to some fun. Last night's game was incredible with the Warriors and the Timberwolves. We saw some spectacular performances. Speaking of flowers, Anthony Edwards. Goodbye, V. Yeah, I think we lost him. Anthony Edwards, huge performance, almost a 40-piece last night. Julius Randle, triple-double in that game. I'm so mad I didn't play his assist. I wanted to so bad. we were both talked about this yesterday on Betspresso, how much we thought Jimmy was going to bounce back. He run his PRA smacked. I took his points, easy smack. That was I really felt strongly that Jimmy was going to come out and be aggressive, and we both felt good about that, and that came to fruition. Didn't lead to a Warriors win, but they looked a lot more competitive, and they looked a lot more reared for possibly winning game 4 and moving into getting Steph back in this series. So, but shout out the Wolves. They got the job done on the road, which was the hostile environment, and we're able to and also shout out Jonathan Kuminga for hitting that 3-pointer to make sure we covered the spread. So we cashed our parlay.
He played fantastic. We talked about him needing to be a pace changer for the Warriors, and he was out there really getting downhill. So it was great to see. And honestly, SPJ, these games have just been so much fun. And sometimes when you look up and you might think like, oh, that Nuggets game, 9-point game, not that close. But if you were actually sitting down and watching that game, we're getting games with a dozen lead changes. One team's up 9. Like, we're seeing some big swings in these games.
Well, and yeah, there's been the outlying blowout every once in a while because it happens sometimes. But to be fair, most of these games, even when teams get a 20 to 25 point lead, like, that's nothing nowadays.
Didn't it feel like the Knicks were going to come back a little bit last game in the 4th?
Everybody, I mean, watching that, there was that momentum swing possibility of like, oh, here we go again. But then the Celtics took care of business and kind of kept it at bay. But that creeps in. I mean, we saw it with the Cavs. We'll talk about that game last. But the Cavaliers last game, they were clapping the Pacers near the end. It was over. But Kenny Atkinson wouldn't pull out his starters because he had to think about what happened in game 1 and game 2. He was like, I can't take these guys out right now. Yeah, sure, we're winning by almost 30, but like, I got to make sure we get over the finish line here because even though statistically it was pretty much impossible, but we saw 2 statistic impossibilities from the Pacers earlier in that series. So it's like, okay, we got to make sure we get over the finish line, win by 30. And Donovan Mitchell also was, he was still scoring late in that game. He was not stat padding. He was making 100% sure they were walking away with a W in that game. Because, with the 3-pointer and how these teams play offensively now, it doesn't really matter anymore. Like, you can get back in a game really quickly. Like, there are 10-0, 12-0 runs happen a lot. And that flips the game just like that really quickly. So we're getting some crazy basketball. The game last night was incredible. I'm really interested to see how how game 4 goes. I feel like that if the Warriors can grab game 4, then we're in for a wild ride to finish off this series. However, I think if the Wolves win game 4, this may end in 5. In my opinion, just based on kind of what we've seen from this game in this or that last game and this with no Steph. Like, I just don't know if they would have enough huff and puff in game 5 to get over the line to force a game 7 or game 6, I guess. Do you agree? I
think that the V can talk about this, but I think there's 3 days in between those games where Curry comes back. So I think that's why they're holding on to that. Sauce?
My connection is being so bad today. Like, you guys are cutting in and out so much. Is it okay now?
Yeah. Can you hear us?
I think you're good.
Yeah. Okay. But okay. I think it's gonna be like that'll be again more rest and everything like that'll be as better. I read that he was doing exercises, like he was on the bike, stretching and doing things like that, trying to do a little bit of court work. We'll see what that entails over the next couple of days. But if you lose game 4 here and you give up both games at home, you're in a really, really tough spot. Right now, all you've done is give back home court. If you really give them game 4, it's a tough spot. And then you're just sitting there wondering, like, do we force him back or what do we do?
It's like the same exact thing that happened with the Lakers the round before. It would be the exact same situation. Also, it's going to be really tough for Steph because have you guys ever had a hamstring injury of any type? Hamstrings are tough because you can feel fine. You can feel like you're healed and you can feel good to go. And the only way you can truly test a hamstring injury is to test it. And you can't really test it until you're supposed to test it in a game because you don't want to test it and then it get fucked up like practicing or something. So it's hard to kind of test a hamstring injury because you don't really know how it's going to respond until you just start doing it again. So he could get out there and feel fine and then have something happen and twinge it again. And then, he'll be done for another 10 days.
V can talk about this better than I can, but I actually have a piece of my hamstring that grafted off and put into my knee. So I have a chunk missing. So I had a long road to recovery with my hamstring. But the way that it was explained to me is that those fibers are so long those muscles are so big in your thigh that it's just such a big piece of machinery, basically, that there's just so much that can go wrong and pull and this and that you have to be very careful. And we do see it with guys that have knee injuries. Your thigh hurts, like other things start to come off, and Steph has to be careful in his advanced age, right, V?
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Your body starts to compensate in other ways, right? Like the strain that was once being put on a muscle that was very strong is now that is healing or things like that, especially coming back on such a short notice. Like SPJ said, he might feel okay. He might feel like he can do this, but then all of a sudden the muscle just hasn't healed the same way that it would. And sometimes it might not be the hamstring. It might be something else. Like you said, like we saw that with Clay when he came back, KD, and his multiple injuries on the same side. Right, it's a very tough position to be in when you suffer injuries like that and your body starts to compensate. We've really seen KD's game evolve, I think, because of it, and kind of become the player he is now, where he's a lot more purposeful in his movements. But Steph's game requires a lot of running, a lot of explosion, and a lot of long shooting. So I think I really hope he's okay. That's it. 37 years old. It's going to be a tough. Man, that game would have been so nice to get last night if they got it.
Yeah,
I really hope they were so close.
But that's the thing. It's like SPJ said, a guy like Julius Randle, he has played so good. It's hard to overcome. This is a dude that, boys, last week we're putting in our articles, we're talking about it on show, 28.5 PRA. Now back-to-back games, he's putting up double digits assists, looking like an absolute animal. And we see very few win-win trades in the association, and we saw one in this Wolves-Knicks trade last year.
We have to just give him his flowers on what he's doing on this team right now. He is the X factor for them possibly competing to move on and maybe compete for a championship. Like if he plays like he did last night and what we've seen from him in this series, facilitating, grabbing rebounds, being aggressive offensively, because he's always had the capability to be aggressive offensively and play that kind of like, I saw someone say this on the timeline and I really liked it. It's like sexy bully ball. It's like it's not sexy bully ball, but it's like what's the word I can't think of?
A bull in a china shop?
No, it's bully ball, but it's with finesse. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's finessed bully ball. Like he plays like it's such an aggressive rate when he's driving the basketball and when he's trying to score. But his vision and ability to pass the basketball is kind of mixed in with that, and also his sometimes way that he also scores too. So he's been fantastic in this series, and they don't really have a good defensive response for him because they have to deal with all the other sides of Rudy and McDaniels and stuff. So I think definitely seeing his game progress has been very cool. And again, I'm pissed at myself for not taking his assists. I had it circled yesterday for plus money and it was free.
I take a lot of stock in what players say, and I'll never forget that right before the playoffs started, Dante said, "We don't think there's anybody in the league that can guard Julius." And he was like, one-on-one in the post, you're in trouble. You bring the double team, Jules will pass it. And I think my favorite thing ever was when Julius Randle was in his first or second year on the Lakers, and he got into a fight with another guy, and Kobe did not really help out. And they kind of asked Kobe after what happened with that situation. And he was like, Julius did what Julius does. Julius did Julius things, grown man things. Basically saying like, hey, he's a kid, he's a younger player, but I know his temperament. I know he can handle his business. He's a grown man already. And it's great to see a guy like Julius Randle that's been through so much adversity in his career. Like SPJ is saying, at first the bully ball didn't come with finesse. It was like, this guy's just putting his head down and dribbling. And then his three-pointer lost him in New York. And now it's great to see him become even better facilitator. It's like, why are we talking about criticizing players when a guy like Julius Randle continues to morph every season to become a winning player in a different way? And it's just dope to see.
I think that he's a really great complementary. I don't want to knock him by saying he's a complementary piece, but he's a really, really nice second option to Ant, because Ant is also similar in the fact that he's a very dynamic scorer, great facilitator as well. But Ant's also super young. So there's like, Julius is a little bit older. He's got a little bit more, tread on the tires. That was weird. And let me remove.
Do that again for us.
I'll bring you back this way.
Can we have two sauces? No.
No two sauces. Thank you very much, Rusty. He's a little older. He's been through a lot, like you mentioned. He's been in the league for quite a while now. What is he still like? He's just like 28 or 29.
I think he's 31.
Oh, I thought he was a little younger than that. But he's in the prime of his career, I guess. And Ant is still at the ascending point. So you can tell that they're feeding off of each other as well. And I think they both needed each other because we saw what happened with Julius in his last couple stops. 30. Okay. I think that it's a really good mix right now for them. And it's obviously working out on the court too for both of them, which is fun to see. So, all right. A little bit of fun from yesterday. Obviously, great games. There's going to be those two series are going to get back rocking and rolling tomorrow. We'll talk about both of those games tomorrow. Game 4's in the Bay, and then Game 4 in the Garden. It's going to be fun. But we got 2 Game 4s to talk about with you guys today. Nuggets and Thunder is the first one. The Cavaliers and Pacers is the game this evening. So, boys, shall we jump in?
Let's jump right into it.
Let's jump.
All right, boys.
Let's hope V doesn't drown.
Yeah, honestly, no.
What do you borrow Kobe's computer?
No promises. Honestly, I think he came here and switched with me, man. All right, boys. First game of the day. Nuggets, Thunder.
That went so well.
Oh my goodness.
We got really far. All right. Well, I'll do this part then, I guess. The Nuggets taking on the Thunder in Denver. GG.
Man.
Nuggets taking on the Thunder here. Nuggets back at home after winning that electric game 3. 6.5-point dogs are the Nuggets. 6.5-point favorites are the Thunder here, still getting the respect of Vegas, even though they lost that game in overtime. Over/under set at 227.5. I kind of like this. I also kind of like the Nuggets to cover. But I know you dove a little deeper into this game. What do you like in this one from a broad perspective before we kind of jump in and talk about some props?
I don't know if I'm ready to fully put my coin on the Thunder, but I do think that there's a few things that frustrated the Thunder last game, and I think that we'll see them bounce back a little bit. They shot 9 of 35 from 3. They also did not make a corner 3, which in this day and age is absolutely insane. We also had Chet on his spot 4 times. He missed from his spot 4 times. So the one thing that I really, really did like that I did circle is, and I wish Vsauce was here for this one, but just Chet for 2 threes. Seems simple. They need a guy to hit threes. Just not hitting a corner 3 in an entire game is pretty crazy in this day and age. So the Nuggets defense is not that good. One easy way to get threes is in transition. And I think that the Thunder really do need to get more into transition. They won the fast break battle last game 14-7, but they are the younger, faster team. So that's something that they should focus on. But we talked about this a little bit on text, but I was pretty impressed by the demeanor of the Nuggets, how they handled everything. Your star player is not hitting a shot, and literally nobody gives a shit. There's nobody hanging their heads when he misses. Jamal Murray has 4 turnovers in 2 games against a team that is historic at forcing turnovers. We're even seeing Jokic struggling with it. 8 turnovers last game. Absolute insanity, but it's been really dope to see how these Nuggets have really come together. And fuck, maybe the Malone was the problem.
Well, that's a separate conversation. That was a nice little way to throw that in there at the very end, because that could possibly be the truth. I told you that I really like David Adelman, though. I think he's doing a really bang-up job right now. He is definitely earning that the front office is going to have to think twice about letting him go in the offseason. Since Skit just said this, and we're going to talk about Murray in just a second, I wanted to bring this up. This is in the 2025 playoffs. This is like player rating. I don't really know how they find the rating numbers for this, like what that looks like specifically. I'm sure it looks at every single stat and kind of compiles it together. You guys are seeing the top performers here. No surprise really that Jokic is at the top of the list. Anthony Edwards directly underneath him, which is a big shout out to Ant. D Mitch has been awesome. Obviously Jalen Brunson too, SGA 5th there as well. So you're seeing 2 of the 5 best players in the playoffs in this particular series going toe to toe. Kind of like what you were just talking about. On Jokic, before we kind of look at a couple of other props, I know he's been pretty pedestrian scoring the basketball in this series. He was really, after walking in that Jokic outfit or that Joker outfit for game 3, I had a feeling that he was just going to go bananas. I should have just taken the Nuggets to win outright, but he shot terribly last game.
Can I just say, fucking Tatum wears Tim's, the world loses its mind. This guy dresses like a comic book character, and everybody's giving him fucking props. What is this world?
Always resorting back to the Celtics, I see. Yeah, agreed. But that had to do with more of what he was saying towards the other team, not necessarily Jokic saying just dressing as the Joker. That's just there you go, Jesus. I have a feeling Jokic is going to come out and he's going to score in this game. I know he shot terribly last game, but he still had 20 points. He's still going to take. He took 25 shots, and he was just shot like shit. I still like his PR. He's been great on the glass against this team. His PR is 41.5. I think that he can come back and have a bounce back game and score the basketball. But I'm kind of with you, man. I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing from the other guys. I mean, Jamal Murray's been awesome. Like, what can Jamal not do in these situations? His rise to the occasion ability and is just unbelievable. I love his PA. We talked about it going into game 3 that we kind of both were feeling. I think V agreed with this too, that, Murray just was primed for a nice spot back at home. He is a much better player in Denver, especially in the playoffs, obviously. I like his PA again, 27.5 is the line for that. He hit that last game. He's also hit that in 4 of his last 5 home games. So 27 points, 8 assists in the last game. I think that he's going to come out and be offensively aggressive once again. Hard to argue with playoff Murray right now. I think he's in that zone. And I like that. I like that a little more than Jokic, but I like Jokic too. And I have a feeling that he's back. And I think he's going to talk about this guy, but Aaron Gordon, man, has been just absolutely amazing for this team. MVP of their playoffs so far for me, if you've watched all their games. Do you want to talk about Gordon, V?
I do. Sorry. My connection's been horrendous today, boys. I don't know. I reset the Wi-Fi. Hopefully no more issues. But Aaron Gordon has been playing out of his mind. And if you've been seeing the story circulating right now, unfortunately, he did lose his brother last year. And he's been playing with a little bit more of, seriousness when it comes to basketball. He built a entire gym in his house to help his shooting. His shooting percentages have not only gotten better, but he shot the ball 40% from 3 this year. He's picked up right where he's kind of left off. He's very selective with the 3-point shot, but on the offensive glass, he has been attacking this Thunder team again and again. And in my opinion, he's doing whatever he can to put pressure on Chet. The more you work Chet in this playoffs, the harder you make it for a guy like that, the harder it's going to be for him to make you pay on the offensive side. His rebounds, again, is sitting at 6.5 today. But rather than that, I'm just going to go right back to the points and rebounds. 22.5 today. It's hit in 5 of the last 6 games. Like you said, SPJ, he's been one of their MVPs. He's got 2 game winners already. He's got a shot to send it into overtime. And I was bitching to you guys, I think, late in that third quarter saying, hey, AG hit his threes, but his PR ain't hitting. What did he do? He went berserk in that fourth quarter, came out to play in overtime. And honestly, it's his defense that they need out there the most. Defensively, what he brings, the ability to switch 1 through 5, the ability to play alongside Jokic, and all of that is why you want a guy like AG on the court for as long as possible. I think now at home, short, like I've talked about this on the timeline, they had 38 hours between games, which is very weird to me considering the Cavs played earlier on Friday and now play later on Sunday. You would think that would be the opposite, especially with the way these teams had to travel. But short rest period, this is a position where I think AG, a guy who is just a little more athletically gifted than most people on the court, is going to be able to take advantage. So give me the 22.5 points and rebounds.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I'd be down to maybe put that, unless that's your saucy entry, I'd be down to maybe put that in our SGP.
I'm not putting the SGP today. It's not my saucy entry today. I'm down to throw in the SGP.
Before we flip over and talk about kind of more of the Thunder side of things, Rusty was asking about this earlier, and I don't know if he's still here or not. But what do you guys think about MPJ? Obviously, we know he's gutting out this shoulder injury, and shout out to him because he's been really good considering the circumstances. Was great last game. Finally had some 3-pointers go down. Looked aggressive offensively. It helps when you're making threes when you're a 3-point shooter. But what do you guys think? Do we think he reverts back to the struggling MPJ we've seen in the whole playoffs, or do we think that maybe that was a little bit of a jolt of confidence for him, and the shoulder is something that it's just he's learning how to manage and it's going to be fine? What do you guys think about MPJ today?
I was very impressed by his play and have been. Obviously, he goes up and down, but the thing that worries me is that his entire form was different last game. He can't raise that shoulder. Yeah, it went in, but I don't know if it's something I want to put my money on, maybe. But then again, who knows? Maybe he hits 4 again. I know BetAlytics model does like the over on his threes. It's not a very, very confident play, but their model does say that it's going to hit that over.
I mean, 2+ for him is -180. I know that's not like, but this is a guy whose line sits at 2.5,
Yeah.
3.5 for plus money at certain stretches of the regular season. So to get his 1.5 at, not super crazy juice. I mean, the 3+ is plus 176. He hit 5 last game. Now he didn't take that many, but I like the 2+. I don't like Skit said in the chat. I don't know if they're necessarily relying on his scoring incredibly because of the injury that he has right now, but they need a good little 12 to 15, possibly 20 points from him to win this game. So what do you think, Sauce?
I kind of agree with like I wanted to ask Rusty, was there something that he's not taking a lidocaine shot today? Like, did they say why can't he get a shot every game? I don't understand.
I guess I think Rusty's saying you cannot have it that frequently.
Are you sure? Like, did the reports come out and say that? Because I'm pretty sure you can.
You can't get the shot every game. Maybe it's because I think that he's saying that there's a discrepancy.
Rusty, we're going to need you to break into the medical staff room and get answers for us.
From what
I've looked at, it's all about how much he's taking, the dosage and stuff like that. But in a 24-hour period, it's more than enough for him to kind of get the shot again. It just depends on how much somebody wants to continue to pump themselves up with with like pain management and things like that. But this is 100% something like it's a big game going up 3-1 today on your home court. You stole home court in OKC in game 1. If you protect your home court tonight, you are in a very, very good position going back to Oklahoma City for game 5 and then back to Denver in game 6, right? It's a spot where I think he's coming to play. And I've talked about this. You need 3-point shooting in today's NBA. In my opinion, you can't win without it. You desperately need 3-point shooting. Jokic went 0 for 10 from 3 last game, and they had to win in overtime, boys. If he hits even 3 to 4 of those shots and shoots 30% from 3, that game could be completely different. This is a team that is desperate for 3-point shooting. In the playoffs, they rank in the bottom 16. Sorry, I think the bottom 14 of all teams in how many 3-point attempts they've been taking. In the second round here, it's been more of the same. They're taking just about 36 threes a game. 31 of them are open to wide open. It's incredibly strange how much OKC has just decided that they are not going to get out there on shooters and they're going to stay home and protect the paint. It's why Jokic had 10 threes. Why would he take 10 3-pointers in the game? We know him to be a good 3-point shooter. I think he shot close to 40% this year, but never have we seen him take 10 3-pointers. It's because they were open shots, and you have to make the defense pay on those shots. And I think this is a situation where it's why I like AG again. It's also kind of why I like Jokic's threes today, strangely enough. I don't expect him to go 0 for 10 again. I don't think he's going to take even 5 or 6, but the line's 1.5. It's a little bit juiced. But if you want to throw in a parlay or have some fun with it, I think it's a little bit of fun. I also think another guy that could be in a good position too is Christian Braun. He's not a guy that's going to hit and it's going to be a complete sweat, but he's taking the shots because he's getting open shots. This is like OKC team that has decided that, hey, we don't really concern ourselves with the Nuggets perimeter shooters. The Nuggets are going to have to make them pay if they want to win in the series. You can't take bad shots that the team wants you to take and not make them. You have to make them pay. No, Slick, like, what do you think?
I'm on the other side of it. I think that I was saying while you were Walmarting that I think the Thunder win this game. There's just some weird things that don't make sense to me. They won the fast break battle. They won the points in the paint battle, but they somehow came on the losing side of that game because they couldn't hit a 3. They didn't hit a corner 3 in the entire game. It's 2025. If you don't hit a corner 3, you're probably not winning a game. So that's why I said I like Chet's threes. I just think that we're going to see a punch thrown by OKC. But like I texted you guys after last game, I do think that the Nuggets were very, very impressive last game. And I do think that they showed a different level.
All right. So since you kind of jumped into that, let's talk about the Thunder side of things because we've been spending quite a bit of time talking all the Nuggets angles. I guess we'll start with SGA. Obviously, we saw a spectacular game from Jalen Williams last game. And maybe we see that again in this one. But SGA was very pedestrian. Like I said, didn't quite get over the hump. Scoring the basketball, didn't really do a whole lot facilitating or rebounding either in comparison to what we're used to from this guy. 18 points last game. I could see him coming out and wanting to be a lot more offensively aggressive in this one, knocking down some shots and getting kind of rolling again. I think Jalen Williams is a fine play too, but I lean a little more with the SGA situation and how he's going to attack them in this game. If you're of the mindset that Luxuk is, that you think that the Thunder are going to win this game or cover even the 6.5 and win by 10 plus possibly, then SGA is going to have a good game. We all think the same way.
Can you speak to the defense that the Nuggets have been playing against Shea? Like choosing to kind of not double him, to like play him one-on-one. Yes, they have guys like Braun to do that stuff, but like, what would you say? What is their defensive strategy in containing this guy outside of the bad shooting game? Because he's been.
I think that my opinion is muddy because I'm a big SGA guy, and if you do go look at the shot chart and you watch that game, I feel like the Nuggets didn't do anything special. I feel like SGA got to his spots and just missed. And like you said, the altitude bothered him. And like SPJ said, he's going to want to go belt ass, nuts on the table, whatever as SPJ saying you like. He's going to come out and do something because let's not forget, these two dudes struggled last game, but they're the two guys that are the MVP front runners. And there's no way either dude is going to lay a goose egg twice, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely no way, right?
I played a parlay last game of both of them to go crazy pretty much, and it didn't get anywhere close. It was a bad game to do that. But I'm probably going to do the same thing again today because I could feel like that both of them, like you mentioned, after goose eggs, are going to come out and want to be a little bit more, MVP-esque. So I think that that's definitely on the table. One thing also to throw in here before we kind of figure out what we want to do in this game specifically is – Isaiah Hartenstein's PR has been printing. Nothing wrong with just setting that and forgetting that once again. It's 19.5. He had a double-double last game, which was a plus 200 sprinkle if you want to take that direction. He was pretty bad in overtime. We talked about this. He hit some very hittable shots or missed some very hittable shots. That little push shot that he was making most of the game, missed him in overtime, which kind of led to their downfall. But, I mean, he's been great on the glass. He's been great scoring when they need him. His PRA is nice too if you want to go that route with his facilitating capabilities. But got to throw in Hartenstein PR or PRA for something. It's just been an absolute wagon, and I don't see it kind of stopping with what they need from him on both ends of the floor.
I had two things. Sorry, V. I had two things circled for iHeart. His two stocks has hit in 5 of the last 6 games on the road. He just plays better on the road. And I think that weirdly enough, they're going to tell iHeart, hey, forget rebounding, forget everything, defend the shit out of this guy. That's your main concern. And also, weirdly enough, he does turn the ball over a little bit more on the road. 2 turnovers in 7 of his last 8 games on the road. Those are the weird, gross 2 things I had circled for him.
Also, I'm surprised you haven't. I mean, you mentioned it in passing, but Jokic's turnovers is 4.5 still. I feel like that he's probably going to end up throwing the ball away 5 or 6 times, just because of how much time the ball is in his hands. Like it's just in the way they're defending him. Like he's going to have 5 to 6 blubs of some sort, whether it's just a good defensive play or him just throwing the ball.
Weirdly enough, SPJ, I feel like how I was talking about like them making him turn the ball over so much. I feel like they very much have been like, all right, Jokic, beat us. In the paint, you're going to get doubled. But on the perimeter, we're going to let you do whatever you want. And what they're doing is they're taking away all of the cutters. They realize that, Jokic is otherworldly, eyes on the back of his head. You do not worry about what he's doing. Just stay glued to your guy and make sure there's no passing lane.
Shout out Asiatic, W Googler. Lidocaine trigger shots can only be taken 4 to 6 weeks, but 1 shot should last a month depending on the patient. So
interesting.
Maybe he received that shot on before game 3, and now we're going to see if that lasts further along. Shout out.
It's only been 38 hours.
Yeah.
So like,
and maybe it fucks with your blood a little differently because of the altitude or something. Like, I don't know. Maybe that changes it a little bit.
He's accustomed to it though. Living in Denver, spending so much time there, like he's long adjusted. But one thing I will say, so you brought this up last game before I talked about this other like 3-point shooting stuff. Jalen Williams, 1.5 3, more juice today, -145. but it feels like a leg that should go in our SGP. He's taken 8+ attempts in all 3 games against Denver so far in this series. And like you said, on the road, he shoots much better. The hit rate hits much harder. And this is a situation where this is a Thunder team. I said the same thing about the Nuggets. You need 3-point shooting. And the Thunder don't have it. In the playoffs right now, despite all the games that they won and all the points that they score, they rank 13th in 3-point percentage. They're not a good 3-point shooting team. Their lead scorer, Shea, is not a great 3-point shooter. So you need somebody to kind of put pressure on this team. Sook likes Chet. I think that Jalen Williams is once again another look. Dort looked gassed. 6 shots told me everything that I needed to see. He has to play defense. So that took a lot out of him. There was one shot at the end.
SPJ is probably loving Dort's look on his face in the fourth.
Bro. He had an open 3 at the end, near the end of the game, that he just passed up and drove the lane because he's like, I don't have it in my legs. He
airballed the one before that, V.
Yeah. So this is the situation. 38 hours. You have now played 3 of your hardest games of the season so far in these last 3. And now you're coming in 38 hours on the road in the altitude of Denver. It's going to be a tough spot, right? 32% from 3 is not where you want to be as a team in the postseason. The number 1 team, the Pacers. And look how they've been dismantling both the Bucks and Cavaliers in 2 of the 3 games. You know? You need 3-point shooting in 2025, and I think Jalen Williams, Chet, those are going to be the guys you have to look at in the situation to put pressure on them. Just the guys that are willing to take the shots, right? That's what you want, and lines at 1.5.
Isn't it funny that we're getting opposite ends of the spectrum of this conversation of us, one team getting talked about not taking enough threes and another team in green talking about taking too many threes? There's a happy medium to find in the middle somewhere.
I think definitely in my opinion, 3s are worth more than 2. And you can say this is Celtic stuff, but I've felt like this since I've been standing Steph Curry. Since I've seen him, how he's changed the game and evolved everything. Like 3s are more than 2. I think Cat would be more useful if he took more 3-pointers. I think we all agree on that, right? Mm-hmm. And if you have the shooters, what was LeBron's biggest thing when he was young and wasn't winning? Surround him with shooters. Give him some shooters. He needs shooters around him. And what did they do? They got him some shooters. He won some championships. And
he also developed his shot too.
You have to.
Yeah. I mean, we're seeing it with Jokic as well. Like Jokic is not a prolific 3-point shooter in the last 3 or 4 years of his career, but this last season and this season right now, we've seen him taking a lot more 3-pointers. Ant is another example of that as well. But how do you guys feel about this? How do you guys feel about Jalen Williams for 2 threes, Jokic for 2 threes, and either AG or Chet for 2 threes?
Ooh, I can get down with that.
Sometimes
you just got to keep it simple.
Simple.
Do you guys want to go Aaron Gordon or Chet?
Let's do Chet. So who do we have? So we got Chet, Jokic, and Jalen Williams. Should we just throw Aaron Gordon in there too, make it a 4-teamer? Like, what are we tipping?
Sure. All 4 guys to hit 2 threes. So Jalen Williams 2 threes, Jokic 2 threes, Chet 2 threes, and AG 2 threes, plus 750.
Call this the big man 4x2.
The big man 4x2. Chet kind of scares me a little bit. So I can see your argument, and I think that he's totally due to hit 2 or 3 threes, but his volume has been whack.
That scares me.
Really?
Yeah, because he had his 2. We saw that chart. He either hits 0 or he gets 2. And last game we got, I think, 3.
We got 2.
We got 2? Okay, we might be good.
If he blows his load and gets 3 or 4, we can't bet this guy. MPJ is also at 2.
What does that pay?
Plus 750.
That's not nice. See?
Yeah. Jalen Williams, Nikola Jokic, Chet, and Aaron Gordon all for 2 3-pointers. What up, Austin? How's it going, brother?
I mean, if you wanted to take them all for 3 too, nobody would be watching.
It's already in V slips. Button's been pressed.
He never even placed the 2.
Yeah, he just skips straight to the 3.
Slick knows me too well. He's exposing me.
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
so we're leaving it?
Yeah.
Happy for that? All right. We'll leave that there, Chet.
So we're leaving Chet? So we're leaving Jalen? Are we sure? Do we want to do that? Then there's me and Skeet. Like, yes, should we add a 5th?
Yeah, should we ladder them? Should we just take MPJ too? Throw him in here? All right. Plus 750. There we go. That's
I do really like the Jokic one though, because I like how we're talking about what the Thunder are doing schematically. I think that they're leaving him just open enough that he's thinking about the three every time he has the ball in his hands. And like SPJ pointed out, he's fantastic at shooting it in the clutch when he needs to, but it's different when you're turned into a volume shooter.
I was about to say, he's not a volume 3-point shooter. He can make 3-pointers, but he is not a volume 3-point shooter. There's a completely total difference. We talk about this when we talk about the 3-point competition. That comes into play in these situations.
This Thunder defense is just as cerebral as it is physical. You know what I mean? It's not by accident they give the amount of threes up that they do wide open, and teams aren't hitting them at the same percentage they are against other teams. There's something there. Something is happening in the defensive scheming that they're doing, and we know Dagnall is low-key hella smart, right? He knows what he's doing out the both sides of the ball. Go ahead.
Shop around because I just got plus 1,000 on that.
All four for two.
All 4 for 2.
Nice.
I got plus 1,000. Shop around.
Hey, SPJ, you got that book now too.
I do. The only reason why I didn't do it on that. Oh, actually, I do. Never mind. I'll book it there as well.
It's
I already
always
booked it because
I
had parlay funds in the other account, so I was like, some of these parlay funds from the Betty 4 yesterday.
You gotta take advantage of that early payout. Throw some juiced money lines and stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's fun. Like look at Sook.
All right now.
He had one
actually,
payout.
that day that I had Celtics money line and Tatum 5 assists for minus 130 and it still hit when we lost. That felt disgusting. That didn't feel good, Chad.
Take a shower. You would have been proud of us yesterday, V on Betspresso. You know what we did? 4 games. We took sides and totals, and we smacked.
Wow,
we smacked.
You guys smacked. That's so lit.
And we smacked. We smacked on them on the Warriors hitting that random 3-pointer to cover the spread. And then we also smacked on the fact that the Oilers scored with like 2 minutes left in that game to make it 3-3. Shout out the Knights. They ended up winning anyway. But it was 3-2, and we needed another goal from the Oilers to go because we had the over 6.5.
Dude, that's an insane.
Yeah.
See, sometimes
it was an insane sweat.
Bro, sometimes you gotta admit, sweating sides and totals hits way different than like sitting there, get a rebound.
Oh yeah. It's fun to do both sometimes. A winner's a winner, right, B Young? Exactly. Yeah. There's been many times we've been on the other side of it where you lose on some hook like that. It's shit. But
I've cashed like an under, bro, on like 12 points in 9 minutes in the fourth quarter, things like that. But I've also watched something go over by 22 points in 4 minutes. It's just a different sweat.
Well, we had 2 free legs of the Celtics to cover, and then also the Canes in regulation, and they won 4-0. So we had 2
you guys put Celtics to cover in it?
Yeah, I didn't want to put it in.
Trizzy and I were very confident in it, and Sook didn't want to do it. And Trizzy even was like, "You're a fan, bro. Come on, have some confidence."
That's why he doesn't do it. Trizzy, D-Gen first, fan second.
Trizzy told us he had like 2 units on the spread. He was fully confident.
He took this to 5.5 straight, which, bang, bang.
Kid 4. I'm already clenched. All right, boys. Next game.
Let's move to the we'll repeat it, Magic Man. We'll have it on the screen for you. I'll read it off one more time. This is the SGP for the first game. Then we'll give us a couple thoughts on who we think wins, and we'll move on to the second game. It is Chet Holmgren for 2 3-pointers, Nikola Jokic for 2 3-pointers, Jalen Williams for 2 3-pointers, and Aaron Gordon for 2 3-pointers. It's 4 guys to hit 2 threes, plus 1,000, plus 900, plus 750, wherever you rock and roll with it. So that's the first SGP. We'll cook another parlay of all of our favorite plays for both games at the end of the show, so stick around. And then we're going to do an SGP for the second game as well. Before we move to the second game, let's go. We appreciate you, Brandon. Thanks for tuning in, man. Hope you're enjoying the show. Are you watching us on our own, or are you just listening? If you're listening, here's some ASMR for you, brother.
Well, he's got the Ray-Bans on with us on like the projected screen.
The big screen.
You know what I mean?
Some meta. Yeah, that's some crazy shit. Real quick before we move to the second game, who you guys think wins this game?
Thunder.
I think the Thunder win, but I think the Nuggets plus 6.5 has been tapped by me.
Let's not forget that I'm actually getting frustrated that the broadcast has not mentioned this at all. The Canadian beef. These guys were forced to play on a team together. They dislike each other greatly. There was a lot of blame thrown around. And now you got Jamal playing absolutely fantastic and SGA coming off a goose egg. Dort looking gassed. There's going to be a haymaker thrown by this Thunder team, and I think it's tonight. Not to say that I don't think that the Nuggets can win this series. I just think we're going to see a response today.
I don't want to get
SGA's do.
Yeah. I don't want to
for
get back into it
40
because I
piece.
came in lagged out, but you guys talked about Murray. I do really like his points today too.
I
I
do
think
too.
he's due for one of those. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
What up, AP?
He was great last game. I like his PA a lot, V.
Mhm.
We were kind of
Yeah,
talking
I
about
heard
it
you
like
say
we were
that.
going.
At 29.5. I love that too.
Yeah. I like that a lot. I wish I'd bet his ladder last game straight. I think OKC wins today. I like the Nuggets, but I think they cover. I think I agree that the Thunder probably win this game, but I do like the cover. I like the 6.5. Let's go, Magic Man. Bing bong.
Oh yeah.
All right, to the second game. We get.
All right, boys. Next game on the docket, we've got the Cavaliers and the Pacers. Cavs finally get a win in this series, down 2-1 to the Indiana Pacers. 5.5 points towards the road team, over under 231.5. Tyrese Halliburton caught his first home loss in the playoffs as the member of the Indiana Pacers. Boys, is this a case where he catches two and we're going back to Cleveland 2-2, or do the Pacers get the job done?
I'll kick us off. The first thing we have to talk about is I just don't see why you can't. I feel very good about just setting and forgetting Donovan Mitchell moving forward. He has just continuously taken over these games. Darius Garland, we talked about Garland coming back. He looked hampered. Shout out to him for gutting it out, but he didn't look like the secondary option that he's been all season for this team. So Donovan Mitchell was still having to be the main scoring choice, and it's been working for this team. It got him over the hump in their last game. I love his PRA at 41.5 for plus money. His 30 points is also still a playable number, and I mean, he's hit it in all games in this series, and he has good success also against the Pacers further back from this series. So I don't think it's bad to be chalky and just take D-Mitch here. I really like the PRA, though, because he almost had a triple-double last game. He had 9 assists. He was great on the glass. I think if you think Spidey's going to come out and do his best impersonation of trying to get this back to 2-2, then you can ride with D-Mitch here. Any prop you want to take, points, PRA, rebounds and assists straight, rebounds straight. I think any prop for him is a playable number or a playable line. I think I'm going to end up, I haven't bet it yet. I think I'm going to end up taking the PRA just because I want to get involved with all of it. But what do you guys think about D-Mitch? Do you guys think he comes out and puts out a similar performance again today?
I do. This was actually my saucy play, the over 29.5 points. I like this line a lot. He's been absolutely murdering the Indiana Pacers all season. We've seen it, and through these first 3 games, it's been more of the same. What I thought was super interesting is he played 37 minutes in that 20-point blowout in game 3. And that's a situation that you don't always see with superstars because he didn't play much of the fourth quarter. But we saw Kenny Atkinson had him coming back early in the second quarter. He had him finishing out playing a majority of the first quarter, and I think he played the entire third quarter, if I'm not mistaken. This is a situation where we're going to see Donovan Mitchell playing a high amount of minutes, and because of that, I do think that he's going to just see a high volume of shots. In these 3 games, he's taken 30-30, and even with DG back in the lineup, 29 shot attempts last game. His 3-ball finally started to drop, and he started to take more. Went 5 of 13 from 3, 38%, which is exactly what you want. Road arena, it's a lot tougher to get things out of your role players, and it's more of the scoring onus falls on your superstar. So 29.5 Donovan Mitchell for the saucy 3. I really love this play today.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I mean, I showed this when you were gone, but this is the 2025 playoffs. This is like player ratings and stuff. And as you can see, D-Mitch number 3 on that list for everything he's been doing for the Cavaliers. Nothing wrong with taking some chalk here, brother. I'm with you. I like the points a lot. I'm surprised they didn't bump it to 31.5. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I wonder if they know something, but we had the exact same conversation going into the last game. And what did he do? He had a 40 piece. So nothing wrong with just taking it and rolling with it.
Back against the wall. This is the guy you want right now. And that dude, his athleticism at his size is insane.
Yeah.
We also talked about this too while you were Walmarting as well. Of the reason why Kenny Atkinson didn't take them out at that particular point was because they had the ghosts of game 1 and game 2 in their back of their heads of like, we need to make sure we slit their throats and that we win by 30. Like that's the only way we're taking you guys out. We got to see. Hey, what's up, Patch?
So before you talk more about your position, I want to ask you, what did you think about the Pacers guard rotation last game? Like, I know it was a blowout, so it's obviously going to be a little bit skewed, but how did they neutralize Halliburton to just his lowering his volume? That's what I'm interested in, because his 4 points is concerning, but it's more the fact that he just didn't shoot as much.
Could be his hand, to be honest. We were talking about that last game. The hand is really bothering him. He's a guy with a very weird form. So even if it is his offhand, the way he loads up that basketball for his shot is very finicky and tricky. So I just don't know. And honestly, on why we're seeing, I think Donovan Mitchell's, sorry, I had this circled D, is he actually has missed his PA on the road a lot this season. So I think maybe that's why we're getting, it might be mispriced because he's been so good. I'm not saying we should stay off of it, but I also really did like Garland's, because how we're talking about Hallie. Garland and Hallie were kind of chirping, and these players all voted for Hallie to be overrated. So I did have Garland's 20.5 PA circled. It's actually hit in 16 of his last 19 games on the road. We've seen a lot of burden on Donovan Mitchell, and rightfully so. You guys should back a guy that's playing that good. But I don't know. Weirdly enough, I don't know. I'm looking at some of these Cavs guys that, like, support this guy now. Like, this guy has been carrying you. You guys were injured. So I really have DG his 20 and 21 PA circled, and I'm ready to go back to Mobley 31.5 PRA. I'm fully ready to go back there. We see his passing, his rebounding. The scoring was only at 18 points, but this is fully a guy that could score 30. Pascal seems like something's up with him, so maybe Mobley can take advantage against him. I don't know.
I like the Mobley PRA a lot better than I do the DG play. I know the DG plays a little more from the plums, but just watching that game, he looked hampered, in my opinion. Mobley looked fine, and he looked awesome. That was a great
SPJ, do you think Hallie's hurt?
I was going to ask you guys about Halliburton because his line is very enticing to me. They didn't really lower it that much, and after a game like that where he just put up an absolute dud, I expect him to come out and be aggressive. But I didn't even think about the hand thing, so maybe that is something that's bothering him. But I think the PRA is a fine angle today if you feel like he does bounce back and get back involved in the offense. Like, he was really poor last game offensively. So I could see him having a bounce back game. I don't know about the hand specifically, but I think that he's going to come back and respond.
Do we go back to the guy that hooked us then? If Hallie's hurt?
Nimby?
I was just going to ask you about him, Sook, after we talked about it. Because he had 10 points last game, only played 25 minutes. He really didn't make it in for that last rotation because of the blowout. So that's what happened there. But he's third in minutes on this team, right? Miles Turner went down in that last game. I don't know what he's going to look like tonight in game 4. What do we think? I feel like just because Halliburton can't shoot, there's got to be more of the scoring load on Nembhard. He shot better in the second half.
When I was looking at it, you made a great point last time, Sook, when we talked about these like leaned upon role players, I'll call them for now. Nesmith.
Your point gets ruined when you're at a birthday party.
Hey, shout out the moms, Nembhard, Mathurin, and Nesmith. Those 3 guys. I feel like you have to find which one you want to bet and roll with that, because you can't bet all of them because they all can kind of mix match, what they're doing. I kind of liked Mathurin the most when I was looking at the numbers. His PR is 16.5. He's been really, really good the last couple of games. He gives the Cavaliers something different that they have to look at with how big bodied he is and how physically dominating he is going to the basket. Nesmith does that too, but I don't know. Maybe they're just kind of rolling with Benny here because of the matchup issues. And I kind of like his PR the best out of those 3 guys, especially at home, like Austin's talking about in the chat. Like his points at 12.5 looks fine. Obviously 19 and 23, so maybe he's due for a little bit of regression. But I don't know, man. The PR looks great at 16.5. Almost hit that in game 1 of this series with only 11 points and 5 boards. But I like the points. I like the PR. What do you guys think of Benny?
I love that because I'm not afraid of the regression. I've been writing about this team for the last few weeks here. He was dealing with abdominal contusion and his minutes were lowered, and we saw Nesmith play fantastic in those minutes. But Benny is their guy, drafted 6th overall, 22 years old. Nesmith's their role player. Like SPJ said, they lean on him when they need to lean on him. But Benedict's been their guy for 2-3 years now, and they're developing him. And honestly, that 10.5 points minus 210, that's a very good parlay piece. It's hitting 16 of his last 20 games at home. This guy is fantastic. He loves playing in Gainbridge Fieldhouse. The fans love him. Like SPJ said, big body, fantastic athlete.
I'd be down to maybe put this in our SGP if you guys want to roll with some Mathurin.
Hell yeah.
I really like you brought this up last time, and it smacked with ease. I think we should have a discussion about TJ McConnell as well. I mean, you brought up his rebounds at 2.5, which was plus money last game, which was absolutely free as air. I like his PRA at 14.5 or his RA at 6.5. I think I want to make that my saucy entry for today. I think that McConnell's going to continue to do, especially at home, he's going to continue to be an important piece in that secondary unit. They left him out there for stretches too. And I mean, even if Halliburton is dealing with some problems, or even if he's struggling again, they don't mind rolling with McConnell in those situations for what he brings on the court. So I like his RA at 6.5 a lot. I'm definitely going to bet that straight. I like the 14.5 PRA though, because he has been scoring as well. What do you guys think of old TJ?
I love it. You said it all.
His energy, the entire series, this series, last season in the playoffs, as a guy who had to sit there and yell at TJ McConnell on the TV for 4 games, it was hell. It was hell. This guy is great. He is physical. He gives you buckets when you need them. And I'm a big fan of his mid-range game. He might not like to shoot the 3 ball as much, but he's got great form and he's got a very good ability to stop. Right? Sometimes guys got dribble moves. Some guys can get to the hoop and finish, but his stopping ability, he stops on a dime and the defender just continues to go, right? Whether it's his size, whatever it is, he gets into the lane. So I do kind of lean with the PRA a little bit more just because for that reason, but I love everything about TJ today. I also think another guy on the other side, so another guy you brought up actually, Strus has been all loose for 3 games.
The Strus is loose. Maxi pad,
right?
man.
Maxi pad.
5 and 4 threes in the last 2 games. We could talk about regression or we could talk about volume. 23-point attempts in the last 2 games. He was on one on the road. And you know one thing, nothing silences a crowd more than a big 3 at a key time in the game. No dunk is going to do that. No layup is going to do that. But a 3 will have the breath leave everybody's lungs at the exact same time in that arena. And that's what he's been doing. That's what he did in game 3, especially at key times. I would feel he was hitting a big 3 when they would make a little bit of a run. Over 2.5 is sitting close to plus money, but not quite there. Not a bad line.
I really like his RA.
I was just about to say his PRA. So I love Maxi today. I love his PRA at 19.5. His RA that you're just going to say at 8.5. His 8.5 RA is hitting 5 straight games. He had 7 boards and 7 assists last game. Game 2 of this series, he had 8 boards and 4 assists in this game. I like the PRA though, 19.5. He's pole vaulted that the last 2. I think the RA is probably the safer straight, but if you wanted to ladder something, his PRA looks tasty or the 3s. Down to put Strus in either our saucy play or in the SGP. I think we're going to see a lot more from Maxi Pad the rest of this series.
Oh yeah.
All right. So take the PRA. Should we start there?
Sure.
And Cook?
Or the RA. Which one do you guys want to do?
I just said the RA because if we looked at game 1 where he didn't score, he still hit his RA.
He still hit his RA. He did, indeed. Also, what's his rebounding line? Is it 5.5? It's 5.5.
Yeah.
Man. Wow. All right, let's take the RA. 8.5.
All right.
So 8.5 rebounds and assists for Maxi Pad. Should we do McConnell? PRA or RA?
Are you okay with double dipping?
Oh yeah.
Pulled the V and forgot.
No, I'm thinking.
You could pull a double V and pick something we haven't talked about.
Yeah. How about we take this thing from the last game we never mentioned? No. The other thing I was going to say is I feel really strongly that Jokic is going to have a big game today. So that would be my other saucy entry would be Jokic.
I'm your leg brother, remember?
Mm-hmm.
I'm good either way.
I know. All right, let's go McConnell in the SGP. If I want to circle back to it, then we can take
all right, sweet.
So you guys want to go RA for McConnell or PRA?
I like the rebounds or the PRA. He's just a weird dude.
Let's hit the PRA.
You know who we're not betting today, chat? Fucking Ty Jerome. We ain't betting that guy.
He's gonna have 30.
I know he is, and I'm probably gonna bet it in my own little corner. But he was so bad last game. He didn't even get on the court. He was so terrible.
Bro, that
He's
thing you
so
posted about
due.
the meme of Chuck, right, where he's like watching Auburn go down, and it's just like it's Ty Jones' agent watching 30 million go down the toilet.
That's how I felt betting him the last 2 games. All right, so MaxiPad RA, right? McConnell 14.5 PRA. What else do you guys want to put in here?
Mobley? Or so what's your saucy leg?
That's likely my saucy leg.
Okay.
You guys want to go Benedict? You want to go Matherin?
Points?
Yeah. We
Mhm.
could do let's go with Benedict.
12.5.
Could take a
Benedict
too.
Eggs Benedict.
So now we got Strus, Mobley, Benedict,
I'm just going role players.
and TJ, right?
You said you want to do Spida as your saucy entry, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Matherin for 12.5 points. So we've got TJ 14.5 PRA, Strus 8.5 RA, Benedict Matherin 13 plus points. We have 2 Pacers and a Cav. Should we take another Cav?
So question for you guys. I was gonna do Donovan Mitchell, but we could put AG's PR in this or in the saucy 3 and then not have like 2 Cavaliers on the saucy 3. What do you guys think? And put Donovan Mitchell in this as the second Cavalier.
I can get down with that.
But then we'd have 2 Nuggets because we have Jokic and we have AG. So I guess it doesn't really make a difference.
I can take SGA too.
Let's just keep D Mitchell.
I'm also down to. I could also get down with double dipping on D-Mitch. I mean, I don't know. I know you Sook's a little hesitant on D-Mitch today, but
I don't want to bet against him. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm pressing the under.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he is due for a bad game. And then Ty Jerome is also due for a good game. But that doesn't mean that we're due sometimes just for the grass, chat.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take D-Mitch in here.
D-Mitch?
Over 30.5.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So McConnell 14.5 PRA, Strus 8.5 RA, Benny points 13 plus, and then D-Mitch points 31 plus.
Beauty.
Bing bong.
Bing bong boom.
Plus 1,000. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Okay. All right, 2 4-leggers for both games for the SGPs. We talked about a lot of different angles for both of these games as well. Now, the best part of the program, saucy 3 time. What are we thinking, boys? You want to go AG?
Yeah, I'm gonna go AG, but what about you? You gonna take SGA?
I'm gonna think while Sook is talking.
Evan Mobley. I'm done talking. Now it's you.
Yeah.
Great.
Back to you.
Yeah, we're going back to Kevin in the studio. Back to you. All right, so PR for Mr. Aaron Gordon, 22.5. Good for that. Okay. Cavs. Mobley, you said PRA, right, Sook?
Yeah.
31.5 from Mr. Mobley. Man. I'll let you guys choose, man. You want to go? I'm just going to go chalky. I'm going to take either SGA points or Jokic PR. So you guys decide.
SGA points.
SGA points, I guess.
He ain't putting up a stinker again, is he?
You guess.
I'm such a hater. I'm such a hater.
32.5 points. That's so high, man. Holy shit. Or Hartenstein PR, 19.5 is the other one I would be down to put in here.
I would rather take SGA than that.
Okay.
I love iHeart, but dude looked gassed.
And BetAlytics has his under rebounds as a 5-star play.
Because it's hard to guard Jokic. You know what I mean? Like Zubac did a good job in round 1, but even at the end of that series, you could see nobody can compete with this guy for like 40 plus minutes a night. There's not a center in the NBA that can play 40 plus minutes a night except Jokic, and Embiid can.
That's what I was kind of saying. Like they've told iHeart, like, don't worry about rebounding, don't worry about shit. Just be glue on this guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Paper mache the Serbian with your body, my guy.
That could have gone a lot of different directions. I'm glad it went that way.
iHeart's American, right?
Yeah.
He's also black. So
he's also
just
black.
Yes.
But his dad's from Germany, right?
His dad is
so.
Yeah, and his mom is a model from Oregon.
Wow.
And his wife's good enough to be a model too.
It's like very respectful. Very respectful switch up. Good job.
Where's Kanika?
Respect.
Oh man.
The PRA.
That was a really nice way to say that, Sick. Well done.
He was like, it's something else almost slipped. There she is. Kanika hasn't said a word the entire show. He's like, what else, Nick? How you doing?
That was great.
Oh my god.
All right. I'm getting SGA 33 plus points, Mobley 32 plus PRA, Aaron Gordon 23 plus PR. Do we want to make it a saucy 4? Because I'm looking at plus 430 or 483 right now.
Yeah. Who should we add?
Trizzy wouldn't like that number.
Yeah. What'd you say, Sauce?
Nemby?
Ooh,
He's the only one we haven't really kind of dipped in on.
Or we could. Austin was talking about Russell Westbrook at PRA. I think he bounces back too. Nemhard. Chat likes Nemhard. Well, then I guess we have two. Then we would have 2 players in each game, and we would also then have 2 players, 1 player from every team. If we do that with Nemhard, that could be fun.
Which doesn't feel bad. You pick one guy to do one thing from one team.
We're not relying on
Aaron Neesmith for 1 assist, hitting 5 of the last 6.
1?
What does the juice do?
It's like minus 200 or something.
Oh, I don't want to rely on that, man.
You want a parlay buster that you'll remember for the rest of your life?
I don't have that available on my book. Legit, I don't. Although I do because I have the same book as you, but I that one's not available for me.
Oh my god.
He's having 3 assists now today for sure.
He's going to
100%.
Chat, what do you guys think? Let's go with Nemby.
Nemby.
What do you guys want to take?
PRA? I think PRA.
Yeah, he's probably going to bounce back.
I mean, to win 2 road games just to give up 2 home games, tough.
21.
Kevin
21
Holt's
and a
the
half.
same thing.
I do like that too, Austin.
What is it? 2.5? 3.5?
I was gonna mention him. The only reason I didn't mention it is because what you mentioned, Sook, about him not looking right.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just game planning, the way they're thinking of. I don't know. With or without Mobley, he was whatever.
His assist is nice, but it is low, but it's not like it doesn't soar. But he gets 3+ pretty consistently. He's done it all series. But the potentials are pretty much like every pass he makes is an assist. There is no like other potentials really. It's like 4 for 4.
Yeah.
The Siakam 3s will be a good sweat again. Throw that in there. So just like Nimby, PRA.
Yeah.
PRA or RA, yeah.
Trust the goats. SGA, AG.
SGA, AG, Evan Mobley, and Andrew Nembhard.
Sorry, I froze.
Mobley and Nembhard, PRA, AG, PR, and then SGA to score 33. That's plus 879.
And we will post that on the timeline.
We will post that on the timeline. This first game starts here in the next 2 hours. You got plenty of time to get involved if you want to ride with us on the Saucy Bow.
And the SGPs will only go on the timeline once they are fully greened out, chat. So make sure you don't forget to plug those in.
Yeah, the SGPs are just for you guys for tuning into the show. But the other parlay, the Saucy 4, will get posted. So don't get mad at us if you see a green slip of an SGP later that you didn't see get posted on the timeline.
Can we have some of Trizzy's magic rub off on us today?
I feel it. We're going back to back.
He even stopped us, V, yesterday. I was like, I was ready. I was like, SPJ, you pitched it. They've been looking good. Let's take the Oilers money line. It's not too juiced. Trizzy's so hot right now. He was like, no. Let's take the over.
Yep.
So much confidence.
So glad we took
There's something about a confident Trizzy that just it just hits. You know what I mean?
It really does. It really does.
Speaking of that, let me text him who's taking a yak today.
Yeah, who's going yard?
He hit
Also, shout
Olsen
out.
too yesterday, bro. He sent me
did,
Olsen
from the
that
show.
was a banger. Shout out Triz.
Also, shout out Colby for hitting. He texted the first text I got in the morning yesterday was Aaron Judge is hitting 2 home runs today. And
I saw his video. Yeah.
Aaron Judge hit 2 home runs yesterday.
I actually did bet that as well. Shout out Kobe plus 900.
Yeah. I'm over here betting Otani bases, smacking bets of the day. Did not smack chat.
I also had that.
Yeah. No. He had a base, Mr. Machine. Yeah. All right, guys, let's have some fun real quick before we get out of here. Favorite lotto leg for the vibes before we pass out.
Ooh.
Pass out. Tap out. Not gonna pass out.
Lotto leg.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Man, this is about as chalky as it gets.
Mm-hmm.
But a D-Mitch 40 piece down 2-1 on the road feels par for the course with the way he's been playing.
I thought you were gonna say Max Strus 4 threes, but I'm down for D-Mitch.
Like, it's always hard for me to want to push the 40 plus button because it's like 40 is a lot. We could take the 35, I think, though, actually. The 35 is probably still within reason.
Plus
135. Oh, is it plus one? Is it plus 190 on our friends?
Still, though,
Let's do that.
like, at least if it's 3 legs plus 200, I would say is the goal, unless we're making it up with like crazy other legs.
Plus 190 is fine, though. I'm down for that. And I like the 35 a little more than I do the 40.
Sook,
What
do you think?
Get into that.
DG 7 assists.
Oh, what is up with you, dude? His toe is broken.
That's why he needs assists.
Why do you like this broken toed man? He ain't got a toe. He can barely run.
Nemhard DD from Padge.
If it's what you want, Sook, we can put it in. It's a lotto. You like the
Throw it
7?
in there.
Plus 195.
Now you guys have me not happy about it.
Don't let my peer pressure be.
Don't worry, Sook. We'll just take it at 2 assists, like you did with Kawhi.
Ladder up D-Mitch too.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you go that way.
The other guy I was gonna mention is DG's double again. He didn't get there last game, but he's been menace on the not DG, sorry, AG.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna go chalky too, and I'm gonna take SGA for 40. That's the 40 button I can feel a little better about pressing.
All right, so 40, 35, 7.
You want to do set? You want to do Garland 7, Sook? Sure.
Or should I do a point scorer as well then?
Do you have anybody you think that scores 30?
Or 25 or 20, even if it's a role player?
I think Mathurin can get to 20.
That's fun.
He's fucking hilarious, dude. He's like not rebounding, not passing, just purely scoring the last 2 games, covering Donovan Mitchell, legit not getting calls. He's just giving death stares to the ref. He's not even talking to the ref. He's just giving the ref dirty looks.
He looks like mean. Like when you look at Mathurin, he looks like
he looks like a guy you do not want to fuck with.
There's one point where he just he got called for a foul. He watches the replay up top. Then he gives the ref a death stare, and then he just points up, and then he just goes back to what he's doing. And then the ref actually looks up and watches and goes, "Oh fuck, okay, fine."
You get traded to the Pacers. You're not friends with Ben Mathurin until about 6 months in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have a number.
No, for sure not. He's not in all the group chats. Yeah, he's definitely got resting bitch face too.
Yeah.
The 20 plus is plus 450.
I mean, that juices up the other 2 legs nicely, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. We could also do it this way because we have a 20 point, we have a 35 and a 40. Do we want to take like a 25 in here or a 30 or something? Or are we getting greedy? It's plus 5360 with those 3.
I mean, you had me at plus 5,000.
Mm-hmm. Just for 3 guys to score.
Is Pascal a guy that we say is due, or is he not that guy?
Well, we have a Cab and we have a Pacer. We have a Thunder. Should we take a Nuggie?
Ooh, Christian?
Jamal?
Ooh,
Jamal for 25.
I could get down with that.
Yeah.
Or a Joker for 35?
Yeah, we could ladder Joker's 3s to 3.
No, let's do all points. We're doing the points. I think we stick with that.
Let's do Jamal 25. Because Jokic would have to take the 35, right?
Yeah.
Russ?
Westbrook. Let's sweat.
He's due. He was due for a bad game and he got it last game, so now he's due to bounce back to a good game. So this is a due we can get behind. All right, so Mathurin 20, D-Mitch 35, SGA 40, Jamal 25 is plus 14,200. Feels
That'll
nice.
do.
That'll do, Donkey.
That'll do, Donkey. That'll definitely do.
It comes at the worst time. I was waiting. I say it first to trigger him because I want to hear him.
You just want me to say it, right? That'll do. All right. Good stuff. Great show, boys. Good stuff, chat. Appreciate you guys tuning in today for the All Sauce Team. Saucy Sundays, baby. Once again, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Go call your mom if you haven't already. And go enjoy these 2 beautiful NBA games today. We will be dropping the Saucy 4 on the timeline. Austin is a smart guy. Should we do a duck race today in honor of the mothers out there? And in honor of Suk probably sleeping on the couch?
Yeah, we can do some duck races.
So mad. Drop a dub in the Twitch chat if you're hanging out with us on Twitch, so Suk knows that you guys are here with us. And we appreciate you guys tuning in, talking some NBA. It's going to be a fun Sunday.
You know what sucks? Yesterday we forgot to do the ducks and we smacked the parlay.
Somebody even bitched at us the fact that we turned off the show, and I just forgot. So sorry, chat.
I think it was regular Hooper. I just saw it after, and he's like, ducks.
It was regular Hooper.
They even bitch nicely. Everybody bitches nicely, except when it's the Celtics. Then it's Vsauce hate group at your door.
Hey, Padge is the member of the Vsauce love group, fan group now. So
Padge's my number one. Rusty, we're friends again right now.
You got that. All right, are you guys ready?
Count me down.
3, 2, 1, go.
Little limes and tequila to get your Sunday going.
Go get some limes and some tequila for your Sunday. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Like I said, have a fantastic rest of your Sunday with your mamas. You can see them; they're still with you.
Who's making a move?
Moves are being made. Mage. Oh, nasty. Congratulations, Nasty. If we smack the Saucy 4, actually, if we hit any of the 3 parlays today, you will go home with something from the store. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you guys for hanging out with us all the time right here on the channel. Appreciate you so much.
In the water.
Oh, man.
Let's go.
All right. Yeah, I know, Austin, you're right there. But we appreciate you guys. Thanks for stopping by. Go follow the GOATs on Twitter. If you're not already, go follow all of us at Your Betting News. Get involved with our free content at bettingnews.com. Go check out all the scribbles we have from everybody, man. We've got a bunch of free stuff available on the site, all for free just for you guys to go get involved.
We got a sub bang from Kev, boys, on the way out.
Hello, Kev.
Oh, Kev, we appreciate you. Thanks, man. For the support, for the love, thanks for the vibes.
1 year, 12 straight months.
It's our anniversary.
WCAP. It is, isn't it? A sauce-iversary. Sauce-iversary. Boys, been a pleasure. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Chat, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Like I said, happy Mother's Day. Get out there, have some fun, enjoy these games later. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for a Betspresso in the afternoon with me and Shags to get you guys rocking and rolling ready for the week. Camp the winners, stay for the vibes. Oh, Suk will be there as well because we get no Vsauce tomorrow. So we got the Suk, man. I didn't know for sure. I didn't want to put you under the bus. So you're going to be with us tomorrow now.
No, run me over, baby. I'll be there.
Oh, all right now. You guys came for the winners, stay for the vibes. So fantastic Sunday. Take it easy, and we will catch you on the next one. Peace, chat.
What you know about rolling down in the deep? Down in the deep.
Now I know y'all be loving this shit right here.
Rolling. What you gonna do? Rolling. What you gonna do? what you know about